Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're looking at a BMW 335i Touring. That's the station wagon version of the 335, complete with the inline 6-cylinder, 3-liter, twin-turbo, 300 horsepower engine. This one has 81,000 kilometers on it. We're going to be checking over the condition of the car and exporting this one over to Canada. Now this one here is a right-hand drive one, but here in Japan you can get both right and left-hand drive for the BMWs. Seems like the right-hand drives are maybe a little bit more popular than the left-hand drives and a little bit cheaper as a result. The condition of this one is excellent. I'm just going to show you the engine here, and one of my favorite BMW engines recently. And if you're interested in tuning, this engine can be very easily tuned to 400 horsepower or so with just a ROM flash. And it's fairly safe to do that from what I've heard. The engine coolant looks good. I can't check the engine oil because they no longer let you check your own oil for this generation, so I don't know how good it is. It's probably a good idea to get that changed when the car comes in, though. Go ahead and lower the hood. And what a great deal this car was. The condition is really good. It has a whole bunch of interesting little accessories. It's got the 19-inch work wheels that are very shiny and deep dished. The car's been lowered. And yeah, just overall a very interesting car. We bought this for much less money than we thought that we would. When the bid was entered, nobody in the office thought it was going to be possible, and we ended up picking it up. And so I love when something like that happens. Just going to move this sheet a little bit. It's windy and blowing the sheet around. So this here is the auction inspection sheet. I'll give it a quick translate here. It's a 2007 BMW 3 Series 335i Touring. This is the M Sports package, so you get a few little things like steering wheel or seats or scuff plates. You get a little bit lower suspension, a few things, but more than anything, this one's been modified with extra little pieces, sort of like this carbon fiber piece here and the extra aero attachment that goes on to the mirrors. Side skirts, darkened signals here, eyelids, front bumper spats or front spoilers, carbon fiber around the grille, and an aftermarket grille with exposed, like, I don't know what you would call these. The fins are in a different design, I suppose. And little extensions over the fenders. The interior also has a bunch of stuff like that. We'll get more into details in a second. But let's see. Auction rate 4, interior B. 81,367 kilometers. The sales points are aftermarket 19-inch wheels. They look like a Workmeister wheel. Aftermarket front, side, and rear aero. You also have slotted discs in there. Leather seats, paddle shift. Yeah, it is an automatic. I believe there's no manuals for the 335 in Japan. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think you could. But automatic transmission for an engine that feels like this with as little lag from the turbos as this feels fine for an automatic in my opinion. And you can shift if you want with the paddles. Push start. Lowered, aftermarket exhaust with question mark. It actually isn't, but the tips are aftermarket. Various other aftermarket parts, so see in person for details. Comes with various paperwork, history papers, spare key, lock, nut, and 2 remote controls. The report from the auction inspector says steering wheel wear, seat wear, interior scratched. Oil minor leak, which isn't dripping down, so it doesn't have to be repaired here in Japan, and most likely doesn't even have to be repaired. It's natural for a little bit of oil seeping to happen from time to time before it's ready to be actually repaired. Rear suspension has oil leak, which I guess I should have a look. You won't be able to see it in there, but we'll see if I can see from underneath here. And no, we won't be able to, so you have to really get under the car to check it out. The suspension felt nice and tight while driving it around, but if it is leaking, and sometimes they're wrong about these things, but if it is leaking, you probably want to get that changed. Might be why the car sold for so little. And then various scratches, dents, and repairs. It says A3 on the cover over here. U2 over here I couldn't even find. Crack on the windshield is very minor. Let me just show this to you. It's right here. And that's a little bit smaller than your average crack, but average cracks are, between 5 millimeters and 8 millimeters or so. They're usually pretty small unless otherwise mentioned. And then a scuff on the front bumper and a few minor scratches on the back, an AU1. So this car was sent by accident to the port. It should have come to our lot. That's why we are not in the regular location that we typically are. But now you get to see the lot. All these cars here and all the cars behind them are all our cars. So I think a lot of people don't understand the scale of cars that we're selling here. There's over 100 cars of ours here, and this is just at one of the 4 ports that we use. The cars that are in our lot are just in and out in a flash. And so, it's easy to take a look at that lot and think, oh, they do 12 cars a month. But no. I remember when we were bidding on this car, we were thinking, well, if the customer doesn't get it, maybe we should get it, because everyone in the office really likes the engine on these. Oh, and take a look at this. There's these bars in here. They've been wrapped in a gold carbon fiber weave to make it look a little bit extra cool. Usually those are just black, and they are a standard bar that comes in the car from factory. But yeah, what a great car. And me and Mike and other people in the office, we really like a fast wagon. These are great station wagons. They're a little bit rare to find in station wagon form, but even if you get the sedan version or the coupe version, really good purchase. They are great value for money, look good, perform good, easy to get extra power if that's what you want, and just a great overall package. It's not going to break the bank at all. So a little bit of fade. I'm just going to get into some of the details of the exterior here. A little bit of fade on the eye lines. This is a real carbon fiber unit, and it says M Sports on it, but I don't think it's actually BMW. I don't think BMW sells a carbon fiber eyelid like that. Same thing with these here. You can see some minor scratches, and then underneath here there's some scratches from, I guess, bottoming out the front lip. Not too bad. There's a full carbon surround here as well as the top piece. And then the badge has been changed over to an aftermarket badge. Again, I don't think BMW makes that badge. It says M Performance on here, but I don't think it's real. Okay, coming down here, the side skirt is quite nice. You don't see too many side skirts on these, especially the wagon. And I don't know if the wagon has a different wheelbase, or if you can put the same side skirt from the sedan or the coupe on it. But if it is a bespoke piece for the wagon, that would be ultra rare. Speaking of which, this wing absolutely would be special for the wagon. That is an aftermarket wing, and has a little bit of carbon fiber to kind of complete, to complete the cool looks of the the white and carbon motif that they're going for there. I quite like that. Come the back here, you have the BMW badge. Again, exhaust tips say Akrapovic, which is the same exhaust brand that Mike has on his motorcycle. And he really likes that brand. Sadly, it is just the tips by the look of it, because you have a full stock exhaust underneath here. It does sound maybe a little bit raspier, but only because the tip end is a little bit bigger, that's all. And then rear spats also get carbon fiber piece. It says M Performance on it. Again, I don't think it's actually an M part, being BMW's division for aftermarket pieces. I'm kind of in their way here, whoops. Okay, so in terms of damages, apparently there's a there's a U2 on the side here. I couldn't find it. I took a good hard look at it. Couldn't find any dent here. So, I just found it. It is very small. Right here. Right where my finger is. Now there's that, and an A3 on the other side. And besides those two things, and the fade that I showed you on the headlights, it's a perfect body. It's a pretty big scratch here, but take a look how the side skirt is. It's all in the curving under section of it, so you're not going to see the scratch very easily. So it's right in here and there. So like I said, a big scratch, not very visible, especially once they put the side skirts on, because all your attention in that area gets pulled to the side skirt, and it gives it a really nice, lower feeling, and distracts from that scratch. So, doors, not attached onto the car exactly right. If you take a look, this door needs to be adjusted. We'll have a look inside. And wouldn't be able to tell. You know what? This smells exactly like my first car in Japan, using the same air freshener. That just brought back memories. Wow. So yeah, the door is not having a good time fitting on there properly. And then an aftermarket strip has been put onto here. And then if you look in the back, you have a blind that pulls out of that, and another blind. I love this kind of stuff. It's not something I would use that often, but if you do have kids, it's pretty nice. You know, you can shade your baby. And then these pieces have been wrapped in a vinyl. They don't usually come looking like that. The vinyl has a 2-stage trim on here, so, and then it has the M Performance badge. It looks fairly smart, but if you, like, it's only going to be interesting to somebody who likes something that has been modified to their taste. And who knows if that matches the taste of the next owner. It does look a little bit smarter, maybe a little bit more modern, but it also does look like it's not original. That's aftermarket. This is illuminated. I don't know if you can see it, but it glows. Pretty cool. And this part here has been trimmed in the carbon fiber trim. It bubbles up a little bit here, but you can heat gun that back into place, I suspect. And then the door strikers have been changed over to an aftermarket one. That may be why the door is not closing properly, because aftermarket parts are sometimes not as high quality as OEM parts. And it might have just a little bit of a difference, or maybe you can adjust it, perhaps. Also, when you come in here, I'll just show you the back seats quickly. The seats themselves are pretty stock. Not much to talk about there. But if you look in here, this center stack has been changed over to an aftermarket one, allowing you to have 2 cigarette lighter adapters in here. There's a little bit of a peeling if you look closely at them, and it looks like a face. Like, hey, stick something into my eyeballs. And then that's been wrapped in the same carbon fiber trim. It looks like they spent a lot of money to get a lot of the things here wrapped in the carbon fiber trim or modified or something. This light has been changed over to a bluer LED one. Not those ones, those are stock. And headliner doesn't have any sagging in it. I'll go to the front pretty soon, but first I'm going to show you the trunk. And yeah, if you knew how much this car cost, it's unfathomable how good it is compared to the price. So coming in the back here, it looks like we have a rear camera with some lights there, inside, not outside. And then the tonneau cover is all in the up position. You can pull this down to click it in. And there's also a dog net in here. And I believe BMW does the same thing as most companies. Yes, they do. You can do the dog net like this, or you can fold the seats down and have a bigger area for the dog. And it's quite nice that this can go like that. Or, how do you do this? I don't know how to do it, but it was in the upward facing position. Well, because I don't know how to do it, I'm not going to break that. This one has the not aftermarket, probably dealer option additional mat, which is nice to see. It's a higher quality than the original carpet and keeps the original carpet in good condition. Underneath here came with like some jumper cables and just the boxes for some LEDs and some lug nuts in a bag. Okay, there's no button to close this on this one. I've seen it on other ones. So you have to use your muscles. And then going into the front seat here. Again, the door cards have been modified. In this case, well, you got a bunch of scratches along here. I've seen that on a bunch of these BMWs of this generation. The E90 generation, by the way. This part here has bubbled up a little bit inside there. Otherwise, the trim is looking okay with a little bit of peeling right up there. Interior has no bad smells in it. It does smell like the air freshener, but I like that smell. Seats here in good condition. The auction sheet said that they were worn, but the amount of wear on the seat is not too bad, and because it is leather, you can repair it. Have a look here. The piping there has worn out in one section there. It is leather piping though. And it has the extendable section here if you have longer legs. Steering wheel. Kind of weird to get the M Sports package and then to change your steering wheel and to change your scuff plates. Like, that is an aftermarket item. Usually the M Sports package, some of the things that you get are different scuff plate here, different steering wheel. You get the special version and then you unspecialify it by modifying it. It's a little bit weird, but it's not that special. A lot of these are M Sports here in Japan. So that's the steering wheel. Has a additional plate, carbon fiber, that has been put on top, and then a change of the BMW badge. We've got the vinyl everywhere here, 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 here. It's a little bit damaged there. All across there. You get cup holders. Okay, and again, this section here has been wrapped. Carpet's all in good condition. Pedals have been changed over. Even though those look like M Sports ones, I don't think that they're the M Sport package pedal covers. I think they're aftermarket. Here's your shift buttons. This one to shift down, this one to shift up. And I feel it shifts fairly well for being a stock regular version of an automatic transmission. It's not a DSG or PDK or whatever they call those. So this screen here is not the original BMW one. It's been changed to an Android Auto screen. And then a Gorilla screen down here and some cup holders. Honestly, I would take this stuff out because it makes the interior look cluttered. You have a little place to put receipts. You just like stick one in and the spring catches it. It's kind of cool. A clock has been put here of all things. And then a USB auxiliary USB. I don't know why that would be there either. And an iPhone charger right here. Okay, e-brake works, power steering works, AC works, throttle response is great, has heated and cooled seats. You can't move it out of the way to put it on though. Really annoying in my opinion. And Studi AG, which is a BMW tuner. I may have hurt my brain by pronouncing that wrong, but that's an aftermarket mirror. A full mirror, not just the mirror cover, a full mirror. Interesting. It might have a screen in there or something, and then vinyl wrapped up here as well. Hands-free telephone item there. So wow, a lot of things to go over in this car, but the guy loved modifying this car the way that he wanted it, and it does make the car more unique, that's for sure. But besides that, it's just in good condition and nice and clean. Look at this, a place to store some things and make sure stuff doesn't fall between the seat and the console with USB in. That's quite interesting. Here's another one here. It has two USBs that have been plugged in. What's this? I have no idea. A light? Yeah, it looks like a light. Music IR controller. Weird. Oh, and the shift boot here, these are both aftermarket with like the M Sports colors stitched into it, which is quite a nice little touch. Open up here, and you get a cup holder that has AC vents in it so that you can cool your drink while it's in that cup holder. Pretty cool. And then a dual auxiliary in, I don't know, cigarette lighter adapter, and a mystery switch. I guess this is AC on and AC off for the drink holder. A little bit of peeling in there, actually. One of the very small problems with the car. Okay, I feel like this video went on forever, 18 minutes, my gosh. Well, that'll be the end of the report for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far into the video, then I thank you. And that's going to be all for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.